Oh, that's exactly how it started. That's what she just did to us. This is how we start our interviews. This is how we roll. Yeah. So everybody, in Obsessed, we are here live in Obsessed with, and we are talking with the amazing Summer Sutherland. Try saying that after you've had a few wines, a few times.
Yeah, it becomes fun.
Look, it's so good. Look, why? I mean, we find all sorts of different people in this space, and lots of different people that are coming in for different reasons and sharing their opinions and everything else, which is what makes the magic in Obsessed with and in the group. So we've got so many different people going through all the same thing, but with different experiences, right? So you had or have still an events management business, which I find incredibly interesting considering we can't have events at the moment. How are you handling that?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same face that I made when the announcement was made a few weeks ago to say that there was no longer gatherings of more than 500 people outside. So my business is marketing and events and festivals and event suppliers, and that's that is my income. That is exactly what I do. And the clients that I work with.
Your heart literally would have fallen through the floor.
Well, to tell you the truth, it took a little while for it to kind of, I guess, sink into the enormity of it. It wasn't until I was kind of like scrolling through Facebook a little bit later that night, and I was seeing all of the posts from all of my friends in the events industry, and I just kind of went, oh, crap. This is bad. This is really, really bad. And I can't even remember actually at that point what restrictions were placed on indoor events, but I know that it just, we all just kind of went, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good at all. So that was pretty much my face.
Like, fuck. You got kids? You got kids?
Yeah. I've got 3 boys. They're teenagers, so close enough to teenagers, 12, 14 and 17. So my eldest is currently going through grade 12, which is
I want what you're eating. You don't look old enough to have that many teenagers.
I started very young.
Yes, I take this protein.
Yes.
That's what I sell. No, it's so funny. It's not funny. I mean, the situation is not funny, but the whole point, the whole reason I'm so interested to talk to you is because there's not many people. There's a lot of people that you would have found in your industry. Like you said, you went out into Facebook and you were thinking, fuck, this is actually pretty bad. And a lot of those people have literally just stuck their head in the sand and disappeared and ran in the opposite direction. But you, on the other hand, did something a little bit different. Share.
Yeah,
I think it's incredible what you've done.
Sorry?
I think it's incredible what you've done.
Oh, thank you. I had I'm just going to give a little bit of background context as well for this. So at the same time as my industry and the world is going into pandemic and my industry is collapsing and, my source of income is collapsing, it was also the the anniversary of the passing of my father, so coming up to. And so I was having to compartmentalize my dealing with things. And we went down to Sydney. This is literally the day before the Queensland borders closed that we actually got home. And we went down to Sydney and, we went through the grief and everything and with my family. And I'd always said, I just need to get past the 22nd of March. If I can get past the 22nd of March, I know that I can make amazing things happen. Literally, I went to bed that night after grieving, with my family and everything. It was like 12:30 at night. And I lay down in bed and I just went, bing, this is what I have to do. I'm hospitality industry suffering. My business is suffering. This is what I have to do. I knew what, I was going to name it. I knew exactly what it was going to be. I woke up in the morning and I just started making it happen before I got on the plane to come back to Brisbane. I just sort of went, okay, I think this is what I need to do. Just went bang, 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 and just sort of started doing it. So
because obviously we don't know what it is that you have done, and literally, I've got goosebumps. I'm covered in goosebumps because it happens like that for most of us in entrepreneur land. Those answers and those problems that we face and the solutions that we come up with do come at us at 2:00 in the morning, at 1:00 in the morning, while you're in the middle of an interview or whatever have you. You get all these drop-in moments. But the difference between having those drop-in moments and having those aha moments, and then someone that goes ahead and does it at the speed at which you've done it and to the level at which you've done it isn't normal. So just share with the group what you actually did, because there's plenty of people that will be watching, and I'm going to share this to anyway, and I hope that you'll do the same and share this to other events groups that are out in Facebook land. How you did what you did to keep your customers engaged, because that's important.
Yeah.
Tell us what you did.
Okay.
Tell us.
All right. So the hospitality industry, obviously, hugely suffering, and restaurants having to pivot their businesses. They can no longer have people come and sit inside their inside their cafes and their restaurants. And so all of these restaurants and businesses around Brisbane are having to pivot. And what I thought is what they need is essentially location. What are you listening to?
I like to get the comments on the phone as opposed to this thing. Okay? I'm watching you, watching me, watching us.
It's kind of a bit like the Matrix.
I did that right up. I am so sorry.
That's totally fine. It's fine. Anyway, so what I decided to do was set up a centralized space so that businesses who are now pivoting to takeaway and delivery, because people have to stay at home, that they could have listings on a website so that people can actually see who's doing it in their area, and then also that these businesses can list and promote out to these people who are looking at, what businesses are even open, because so many of them have had to close. What businesses can I go to and pick up, some food, some drinks, booze to be done.
My son the other night, right, because it's a pandemic, and everyone's like, pandemic, like everyone's closed. So you just you've got that narrative in your head, don't you? Most people do. Like, oh, everything is closed. It just you just think everything is closed. My son was like, Mom, I really want Chinese. I was like, dude, like, we can't. They're probably closed.
Yeah,
probably not. And then we get a takeaway. And this is what you called it. Take It Away Brisbane.
TakeItAwayBrisbane.com. That's the website that I set up. I sort of, built it really quickly. Just kind of went like, I just need a really, really basic website that is, going to do basic listings and give people the information that it is that they need to sort of, what area are you in Brisbane, and who's open at the moment, and who can I go and get some really awesome, amazing food and drinks from as well,
it's all still there. It's all still available.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of them have closed down, but a lot of them are still, they've pivoted. Exactly. I think that's like, the key word for this pandemic for business is how have you pivoted? Like how are you moving your business?
Is it just me, or every time do you hear that word pivot, do you think of the Friends show?
No.
When someone says pivot, and it's like, the scene from Friends where it's like, pivot.
I guess I'm not a Friends fan. Send me the link to that one. I'm sure it's
like everybody's using the word pivot, but every time I hear it, I literally just go, like it's the thing that plays in my mind. So Friends people out there, they know what I'm on about. I'm going to share you the link after. I'm literally going to send you the link, and literally there's people screaming it at me right now. Caitlin Johnson's like, pivot.
Oh my God. I don't know why I don't know this. I'm going to research it afterwards. Yeah.
You'll be changed forever, let me tell you. Now, I just want to give a big shout out. We've got Irene Becker here. We've got Dale here. We've got Caitlin Tasman. We've got Les Hutton watching. And literally, what have we got here? Irene Becker says, great to hear pivoting stories. Thanks for sharing, Summer.
Yay! You're welcome.
Yay! And this is what it's all about. Like, what actually to me is the most intriguing thing is that you actually saw an issue and you saw a disconnect, and you literally were the conduit. And this could be something really big. And you said to me before when we were off air, you said to me that this is something that you'd been cooking in the back of your mind for a while, but you just didn't know what it was going to look like. Is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of like there's so many elements to the hospitality industry, events, festivals, restaurants, cafes, breweries, wineries, all these sorts of things. And it's like, how can you bring it all together? The hospitality industry in Brisbane is very close-knit. It's a very, 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 close-knit community. So for me to set this up is also, my sort of way as well of a small contribution to making sure that these businesses are there on the other side of all of this. So many of them, unfortunately, aren't going to recover from this.
In the first instances, I think everybody went into a bit of a panic. And actually, I think a lot of people, I think they moved too quickly. And took the move to shut down too quickly before actually listening to what the government was saying they could do, and they could turn themselves into because a lot of these people didn't have takeaway licenses and everything else, but now that's just a thing. It can happen if you've got a food place, you can do your takeaways, right?
Yeah, and from my understanding, the government are actually, sort of fast tracking those sorts of things as well. Those that don't, but it's probably best to check on government websites.
Happened. A lot of people reached out to me because we were doing 30-minute strategy sessions through our other company, and just for free, just to kind of fucking help as many people as we possibly can and try and help them guide through some of the shit. And there was a lady that reached out to me who had a hairdressing place, and she also had a cafe in Melbourne, and she was freaking out. Understandably, she's like, this company's good, but all of my staff, my hospitality, I've been running this cafe for ages, now I've got to shut it all down. Now, you could have had your awesome noggin in action in Melbourne. Do you have plans to grow this? Like, obviously take it away Brisbane, take it away Melbourne, take it away.
Yeah. So the little marketer brain in me immediately goes, how does this expand? Obviously I have had some interest from interstate, and there has also been some interest from overseas, which is amazing, to sort of, do something very similar. Amazing.
Like, it's not even like, it doesn't look shit. You've actually,
I have an amazing graphic designer as well.
Okay.
A bit of a shout out to my graphic designer, Emily, there. She came up with a pretty snazzy logo pretty quickly.
100%. And I love that. Actually, that's really cool when you're giving gratitude to the people that help you. It's not just, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
As a result of a team effort, usually. So one spark to come, to set off the idea, but usually there's a whole team of people that create something great. Same as what we've got at Obsessed. One spark of an idea, but many of us all rowing in the same direction to create something amazing.
Absolutely. So it's sort of just it came big quite quick. I wasn't expecting it to sort of take off as much as it did quite quickly, but you know what? I'm more than happy with where it's going. I'm more than happy with the ideas and things that people are coming at me with constantly as well, which is also awesome. I'm at the moment, what I'm trying to do is just get as many listings as possible and get the word out there as much as possible, so that there is that connection, that link for people who are looking at getting some, amazing food delivered. And the other thing is as well, I probably need to make a little bit of a note. I'm not going to mention business names or anything, but a lot of delivery services, third-app delivery services, take a substantial fee for delivery.
And right now they can't cope with that.
Right now they can't cope with that. So a lot of these businesses that I'm listing as well, it's going direct, direct to the business. So every single dollar that you're spending on, by going through to this business is going to them. This small business trying to sustain themselves. It's not going to a third-party app or anything like that. It's going to them. So you know what? You can still get in your car and you can still drive to a takeaway shop and pick it up. You can do that yourself. You consider yourself a little delivery person.
It's not like we haven't got the fucking time.
Exactly. And look at the prices. It's fine. You'll be fine.
And if it's a takeaway shop, it's usually going to be around the corner, it's just you have to use the Uber Eats and all the rest of it, and what the Deliveroos and all the rest of it, then it's still a way to contribute and help. It's just they're not going to feel the full impact of your goodness. And you're reaching.
So my whole thing is this really, really crucial point for so many businesses is to give them the maximum amount of.
And I think that what's really important here, and that everybody should know, is that what you've done is not for profit.
Completely not for profit. So listing businesses on the website is completely free. All the promotion I do for it is free. At this stage, this is just me going, I need to do something to help out the industry. So it's completely not for profit, and businesses listing. I'm not getting money for click-throughs. I'm not getting percentages of anything. It's just me going, this needs to happen. Otherwise, the industry that I work in is not going to be there on the other side for me to have a job as well.
We need more people like you, Summer. Why I love the people in Obsessed, because we all think the same way you do. And a lot of people in business clamp down and go, but I can't make money from this right now. It doesn't matter.
No, now, and now is not the time, like for me anyway, like morally and ethically, I just, now is not the time to profiteer out of this, you know. So like there is definitely future marketing in it, like, you know, like there is future marketing for my business and everything like that. Absolutely, you know, that I'd be lying if I said that there isn't. But this right now is more important than, you know, than.
Well, there comes a time. Right now, what's important is what's happening right now. What happens in the future depends on what happens in the future.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, and you know, I always struggle with that question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I'm like, let's see what fucking happened. Do you think we saw ourselves here 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? No.
I was actually having a conversation with someone this morning and saying exactly that. And like, I'm not planning right now for, you know, like this time next year. And, you know, we had a trip planned, you know, overseas at the end of July, and that's obviously not happening now. I'm like, I feel like I am literally planning day to day at the moment, just so I can keep my head in check, you know.
At a point there, we were planning hour to hour based on what was happening in the Premier's announcements and the Prime Minister announcement. At that point, we were all planning hour to hour. I know I felt it in one of our businesses in the mechanics garage. Literally hour for hour, I was making decision after decision after decision after decision based on the information that was being put, that we were being, because we had a legal obligation to do that. It didn't stop me from still pushing forward and innovating and pivoting and making changes in the business.
Because then also you have, you know, your personal as well. Like I said, you know, I've got 3 children, and now all of a sudden they're going to be at home. You know, they're going to be at home doing school, a 12th grader. I'm like, I don't know 12th grade music very well.
How are you coping with that? How are you coping?
12th grade or having children at home?
Well, I mean, I'm not too worried because I'm not at home. I'm in an office. At home with my parents. Shout out to my mum. Woo! I want to know how my parents are going with my children's schoolwork.
Look, I'm actually, well, luckily at the moment it's school holidays, so it's more of a like, get out of the house, you're doing my head in, you know, kind of thing at the moment. But I do know that, like, luckily my boys go to a really good school, and they had already anticipated this. So, you know, they had already set up all of the remote learning before the end of the last term. And so, you know, they're all ready to go from Tuesday with it. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, how much do I have to do with you?
When they're not in that school setting and they're not being nudged along by the teachers and they've not got the structure of going here, do there. I'm not a school learner, never been early school leaver sitting right here, people. So I don't know, like my kids will come home with homework. I'm like, okay, you want to do that? It's up to you. I'm like one of those mums. So it's I'm a big fan of that. Like, kids are people, and if they have a passion for learning, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. I want them to try the hardest and all that kind of jazz, but I think that when you find something that's look at you, when you find something that sets your heart on fire and you find your purpose and your passion, show up every day without having to be dragged there. Absolutely. I'm struggling with how I'm going to get them to stick to that curriculum. But hopefully we're not all going to be at home too long.
Hopefully. Well, so I think for me, I've already said to them, I'm like, this lovely table behind me is their new schoolroom. I'm like, oh, you're not staying in your rooms and doing this. Like, you will be doing this in front of me, because, you know, I need to make sure that you're actually doing it. But then, I mean, who knows? We're all in uncharted waters here. You know, they have so many questions for me as well, asking, oh, but what about this? What about this? I'm like, dude, I got as much information as you have at this stage. I don't know.
And I'm getting asked, do you know, for the first time, and I'd never thought I would ever hear these words come out of my 13-year-old's mouth, but he's like, Mum, can we go back to school? Wait, can you say that again? I need to get my phone out and record it.
Yeah.
Never heard you say that, ever.
You know, and I said that to them when they were all like, yeah, shut down the schools, you know, a few weeks ago when it was like, oh, they're shutting them down, are they not shutting them down, what's happening? And my kids were like, shut down the schools. I'm like, you don't realize what's going to happen if they shut down the schools. You're going to be stuck at home with me and you're not seeing your friends at all. So why do you want to do that? Don't you want to go and see your friends?
And look, do you know what? Just right then and there, as you speak and as you saying that, I've just had a bit of a drop in, and it's kind of like school for me is kind of like, take it or leave it. But it is, school's not always about education, is it? Yeah. It's about the social aspect, and it's about, you know, meeting your pals and your friends along the way. And I suppose there's not enough credit given to that part of the educational system. Okay, broken and all that jazz, but okay, fine. Which I catch myself in those moments, because I'll be like, no, this is my belief, and then I go, I can change my belief in any given moment I like.
Anytime I want.
Oh, you can change your business anytime you like.
Yeah. Focus it on this for now, and then you know what? Oh wait, butterfly. I'm going to do that one now.
And it's a beautiful butterfly that you've created.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's something that's just I really do feel like this is going to stick for you. And it's something that's heart-centered. It sits outside of yourself. You're reaching out and letting people know that they're not alone and that you are an absolute beacon of light in what could be and is for a lot of people a very dark time. Yeah.
Well, and, you know, that's the thing as well, talking with a lot of these businesses, you know, obviously via email mostly at the moment. And that's, you know, I'm just like, this is just me. I'm just doing it. You know, anything else that you need, or if you want to have a chat, you know, anything like that, just give me a call. I'm free for a call. But what is interesting, and I guess it is a bit of a mentality, you know, an untrustworthy mentality when people are offering something for free. People go, oh yeah, no, I'm all right, thanks. Yeah. And trying to, you know, convince them that actually, like, really seriously, this is like, I'm just trying to help you.
I think there's pre-COVID mentality and then there's post-COVID mentality. I think pre-COVID, people would have been really wary. And look, I thought the same thing when we put out 30-minute free strategy sessions, right? And I just like, just do it. Just do it. And, but you know, free's never, in marketing language, because of that, you don't usually do it, right? You get that. You're in marketing, so you understand it. So people don't value it as much because it's free. And I'm like, that's just been tipped on its head. We got smashed. We got inundated. And in fact, one of the ladies that's watching now, who is Caitlin, I just saw her pop on, Caitlin Johnson was one of those people that reached out.
Yeah, awesome.
And we were what they needed at the time. And I think that's what separates a good marketer from a bad one. You know, like I didn't use it as a way to grab people and sell them something. Absolutely there was no selling at all. It was
Yeah. And relationships, you know, you're going to build relationships and build your network, and also understand that at the moment there is a lot of people doing it really, really hard. And even if there is just one person who's reaching out to them to say, hey, I can help you, you know, that could help them enormously just in one day, you know. So
you can change one person's life. You can save one person's life. And I'm not even saying that as a throwaway comment. You can quite literally save someone's life by reaching out and just offering to help, genuinely help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And following through with it as well. It's not just, you know, oh, you know, I'm here for you if you need anything. It's like, no, like, here it is. And here's the follow through with it. You know, here is something, here is just for you. So
that's the thing, isn't it? When people go, I'm here if you need anything, just ask. Yeah. It's like, no, just do it, do the thing, because people that usually need help don't usually reach out normally.
Yeah.
So just be there, do the stuff and the things, take it to them and say, oi, take this. I want to read some of these comments.
Yeah.
So it says, oh, that's lovely. She says, you're an amazing person, Summer, and so inspiring. Crystal Lee says, that's a true leader, using your skills and tools to give back to an industry you're already passionate about. This will all come back to you, my darling. You have attracted the right kindness that you give.
Thank you. That's really
sweet.
How lovely
is it? I love our people. Our people in here are fucking epic. That's why they're in here.
I think that's what's really, really needed is just that positivity, that, you have some cheerleaders behind you. Even if you don't know them, you got someone cheering behind you. It's pretty motivational and just kind of keeps you going with what you're doing.
I mean, it's important, but I think that now I think people are starting to truly understand what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not just using it as a way to kind of gather and amass.
Yeah.
Because at the moment we're all one mass, aren't we now? How obvious is that?
Or one mass that's separate.
But more together than ever.
And it is actually funny how many people you're constantly saying, oh, we'll catch up, let's do lunch or we'll have a wine or something like that. We'll catch up. I'm catching up now with more people than I have before, there's FaceTime, wine time, you can exercise in twos, with social distancing. I think I'm exercising now more than I've ever exercised because it's the only thing I can do outside. But, and also catch up with a friend at the same time. You can do that, so.
Actually can. And how beautiful is it that we've actually, the whole slowness of it all and everything stopping is the beauty of it.
Yeah. It is. It's fun. And I can't even see that in my kids, as much as they're doing my head in at the moment because it's holidays and they're at home. I can even see that in them, just going, okay, we'll just take the dogs for a walk to the park because that's all we can do today. And I'm like, right, go. Bye-bye. See ya. Yeah, you do that.
Look at this connectivity happening everywhere. Like my son was spending time with his puppy, learning how to solder. And my husband's built an axe throwing thing. I'm not joking, an axe throwing board in the back garden that we now teach the kids how to throw knives and axes at.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
It's so good. I'm going to show you the video. I'm literally that's dangerous. I'm like, everything. This is back in the olden days when, blacksmiths and stuff. It's just as long as you're supervising it and you're there and you teach them the correct way to do things.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? We're there. We're not just saying, here, take a knife and run up the back garden and throw it at a piece of wood.
Do you know what else is dangerous? A cricket bat. So,
and drive
it.
And rugby.
Yes. Yes. Actually, it's funny. My 17-year-old just missed out on doing his PES test because they can't do the tests. Yeah, that's way
Well, my son's really good at rugby. He's really next level good at rugby, and he's obviously at that age now because he's 13, about to turn 14. He's missing out on the opportunity of leveling up at rugby. So there's things that we're missing, but I mean, we've got him training and doing push-ups and stuff and all that jazz. But it's not as good as the real thing, hey? So
no.
Throw an axe. Take out your frustration.
Just build up the muscles. You can do it.
We're in the back garden. I've already sorted. Some of you can come over, bring your boys over. I'll teach them how to throw axes.
Yeah, they'll love it. Absolutely.
You know what? You are an absolute. You're literally sunshine, dust, glittery, shiny. I don't know any other words. What other words can I use? Come on. I'm bringing her in.
Magical sunflower unicorn goddess, and we're so happy we got to meet you, mostly because we're matching.
I got so excited when I realized we were matchy. Also, can you just repeat that because I didn't hear it?
Louder.
You can watch this on replay as much as you like.
We'll get one of the girls to put it on repeat, and make it as a gift.
Yeah, it's going to be my new ringtone on my phone.
Make sure you do. We'll get all obsessed with it. How disappointed were you when you realised that Nat wasn't interviewing you? You're like, it's not matching.
That's
my No, it's fine. It's fine. Complimentary. We're sort of like bookends.
Yeah. Well, literally, it's in the middle. Look at us. We're kind of fading. I love it. You are awesome. I love talking to you. This could go on forever.
I know.
I want to hear your journey. I want to support you in what you're doing. And there's many people out there that are watching. If you've got any friends at all, especially in Brisbane at the moment, because that's where you're at, that are in the food industry or hospitality or anything, head on over to, and I don't usually do this because of the business thing, but I think what you're doing is incredible. I'm covered in goosebumps right now. Take It Away Brisbane. There's an @ symbol. There will be a link in the comments below. The website is www.takeitawaybrisbane.com. Go there, tell your people, tell your friends, tell everyone that's in the industry to go over there, register. It's free. And it's just a way that people can find you, to buy from you and support local businesses that are pivoting and going into takeaway foods and beverages.
Yeah,
Sutherland, you are my fucking spirit animal. I'm so pleased that you came and shared with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks.
You're welcome. I'll see you soon.
Have a great day. Bye. Bye.